Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, I need you to understand that what I'm about to tell you is serious, disturbing, and honestly pretty scary. If you care about BTS, if you care about Jimin, or if you care about celebrity safety in general, you need to hear the story. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, because this is breaking news that everyone needs to know about. Let's get into it. So here's what happened. On February 9th, 2026, BTS returned to Incheon International Airport in Seoul after completing their schedule in Lisbon, Portugal. This should have been a routine arrival, the kind of thing that happens dozens of times throughout their career. Fans gather at the airport to welcome them home. Photographers and legitimate media are there to capture footage, security manages the crowd, and the members make their way through the terminal safely. That's how it's supposed to work. But this time, something went very, very wrong. According to breaking reports from Dispatch, one of Korea's most prominent entertainment news outlets, an individual was caught attempting to get close to Jimin by impersonating a reporter. Let me repeat that, because it's important. Someone disguised themselves as a legitimate member of the press, positioned themselves in the media section where reporters are allowed to stand, and used that fake credential to try to gain access to Jimin. This wasn't a fan who got too excited and crossed a barrier. This wasn't someone who accidentally ended up in the wrong section. This was premeditated, calculated deception designed to bypass security protocols and get close to a celebrity who should have been protected. The details that have emerged so far are chilling. This person apparently obtained or created fake press credentials that were convincing enough to initially get them into the designated media area. For those who don't know, airports have specific zones for accredited press during celebrity arrivals. These areas are supposed to be secure, limited to verified journalists from legitimate news organizations. The whole point of having these designated zones is to create a controlled environment where media can do their jobs while celebrities remain safe. When someone infiltrates that space using false credentials, they're not just lying, they're compromising an entire security system that's designed to protect people. What makes this even more disturbing is that this appears to be targeted specifically at Jimin. While all of BTS was arriving at the airport, this individual's actions were focused on getting close to one particular member. We don't know yet what their ultimate intentions were. Were they an obsessed fan? A stalker? Someone with malicious intent? The uncertainty around motive is almost worse than knowing because it leaves everyone imagining worst-case scenarios. And in an era where we've seen violence against celebrities, where we've seen stalkers escalate their behavior, where we know that obsession can turn dangerous, there's every reason to be concerned. Thankfully, security personnel caught this person before they could make direct contact with Jimin. According to reports, the fake reporter was stopped and removed from the area. Jimin was safely escorted through the airport without incident, protected by his security team who were doing their jobs exactly as they should. But the fact that this person got as far as they did, that they managed to breach the initial security screening and position themselves in what should have been a safe, controlled environment, that's the scary part. It reveals a vulnerability in the system. It shows that dedicated bad actors can find ways to exploit security measures if they're determined enough. The response from fans has been immediate and intense. Within hours of Dispatch breaking the story, hashtags demanding better protection for Jimin started trending worldwide. ARMY, BTS's fanbase, is known for being protective of the members, but this situation has taken that to another level. Fans are angry, scared, and demanding accountability. They're calling out HYB, BTS's management company, asking why security protocols allowed this to happen. They're questioning whether enough is being done to protect the members, especially given BTS's massive global profile and the reality that increased fame brings increased risk. Some fans have pointed out that this isn't the first security concern involving Jimin specifically. There have been previous incidents, previous moments where fans or strangers got too close, where boundaries were violated, where his safety felt compromised. Each individual incident might seem minor in isolation, but when you look at the pattern, when you see repeated situations where Jimin's personal space and security are threatened, it starts to paint a troubling picture. It suggests that either the current security measures aren't sufficient, or they're not being consistently enforced, or both. The conversation has also expanded to broader issues of celebrity safety and the culture around airport appearances in Korea. For international fans, It might seem strange how much attention is given to airport fashion and airport arrivals in K-pop culture. But in Korea, airport appearances are a major part of celebrity culture. Fans gather in huge numbers. Photographers line up to capture every moment, and these arrivals and departures become news events in themselves. This creates a challenging security environment because you have massive crowds, intense media attention, and celebrities trying to navigate through public spaces that aren't designed for that level of chaos. Some people are now questioning whether this entire culture needs to change. Is it worth it? Is getting photos of celebrities at airports worth the security risks it creates? Should there be more restrictions on who can be present at these events? Should airports implement stricter credential verification for media? Should celebrities use private terminals or back entrances to avoid these situations entirely? These are complicated questions without easy answers because they involve balancing public interest, press freedom, fan culture, and safety concerns. What we know about the individual who impersonated the reporter is still limited. Dispatch's report didn't include their identity, which is standard practice in ongoing situations. We don't know if they're facing criminal charges, though impersonating press credentials and attempting to breach security in an airport are both serious offenses that could carry legal consequences. We don't know if this person has a history of concerning behavior toward Jimin or other celebrities. The investigation is presumably ongoing, and more details will likely emerge in the coming days. The timing of this incident is particularly concerning because it comes right as BTS is ramping up for their major comeback. The group just spent time in Lisbon working on content for their upcoming album Arirang. They have a massive world tour planned, and they're going to be in the public eye more than ever over the next several months. This should be a time of celebration, a time for fans to be excited about new music and performances. Instead, there's this underlying anxiety about whether the members will be kept safe during all these public appearances. Jimin himself hasn't publicly commented on the incident, which is understandable. He shouldn't have to address every security breach or scary situation. That's not his responsibility. His job is to be an artist, to make music, to perform. Keeping him safe is the job of a security team, his management company, and the venues and locations where he appears. But you have to imagine how it must feel to be constantly aware that there are people out there who are obsessed enough to go to these lengths, to create fake credentials, to actively scheme ways to get close to you. That's a psychological burden that most people never have to carry. The broader BTS fandom is also grappling with their role in all of this. Most ARMY are respectful, understanding of boundaries, supportive of the members' privacy and safety. But there's a subset of people who engage in concerning behavior, who contribute to the kind of obsessive culture that can embolden incidents like this. Some fans are calling for self-reflection within the fandom, asking everyone to think about how their actions, even seemingly small ones, might contribute to an environment where celebrities are seen as accessible, where normal boundaries don't apply, where it feels acceptable to go to extreme lengths to get close to your bias. From a security professional's perspective, this incident represents what's called a near miss. Nothing terrible happened this time. Jimin is safe. The threat was neutralized. But near misses are often warnings of vulnerabilities that could lead to actual disasters if they're not addressed. Every security expert will tell you that you don't wait for something bad to happen before you improve your protocols. You learn from close calls. You identify what went wrong. You figure out how someone was able to get as far as they did, and you close those gaps before someone else exploits them. The fake credential aspect is particularly troubling because it suggests a level of planning and sophistication. This wasn't a spontaneous decision. Someone had to obtain or create these credentials, had to understand how airport media zones work, had to know where to position themselves, and how to blend in with legitimate press. That takes research, preparation, and intent. It's the behavior of someone who is determined and potentially dangerous, not just an overzealous fan making a bad, split-second decision. Airport security in general faces unique challenges. Airports are public spaces that have to balance accessibility with security. They're designed to move large numbers of people efficiently, which inherently creates vulnerabilities. Add in the complexity of celebrity arrivals, where you have crowds of fans, legitimate media, private security teams, airport security, and the celebrities themselves all converging in the same space, and you have a situation that's incredibly difficult to fully control. But difficult doesn't mean impossible. Other countries, and other entertainment companies have implemented systems that work better, that provide more protection while still allowing for reasonable media access and fan interaction. Some fans have pointed to how things are handled in other parts of the world. In the United States, for example, major celebrities often use private terminals or separate entrances specifically to avoid these chaotic public airport scenes. When they do appear in public airports, there are usually very strict protocols about media access, physical barriers separating fans from celebrities, and robust security presence. The K-pop industry could learn from these approaches, could implement similar measures that prioritize safety over the spectacle of airport appearances. The psychological impact on Jimin is something that concerns many fans. Knowing that someone was actively trying to get close to you, that they went to the effort of creating fake credentials and deceiving security, that's disturbing on a deep level. It can create feelings of vulnerability, anxiety about public appearances, hypervigilance about who's around you. For someone who already lives under intense public scrutiny, who has limited privacy, who is constantly photographed and watched, adding this layer of threat to their safety can be genuinely traumatic. Mental health professionals who work with celebrities and public figures talk about the unique stressors that come with fame. The constant awareness that you might be in danger, that there are people obsessed with you, that your safety depends on security measures working perfectly every single time, that creates a baseline level of stress that most people never experience. When something like this happens, when those security measures fail even partially, it validates those fears and can intensify anxiety. The demand from fans for HYB to address this situation and improve security measures is completely justified. As BTS's management company, HYB has a responsibility to ensure the members' safety. They profit enormously from BTS's work, from their public appearances, from their accessibility to fans. With that profit comes responsibility. Fans are right to demand accountability, to expect that lessons will be learned from this incident, to insist that changes be made to prevent similar situations in the future. What those changes should look like is a matter of debate. Some fans want to see the members use private airport facilities exclusively. Others suggest that public airport appearances should have much more restrictive security, with greater distances between celebrities and both media and fans. Some propose better credential verification systems, perhaps using technology to authenticate media credentials in real time. Others think the solution is simply more security personnel, creating a larger protective buffer around the members during these appearances. The reality is that effective security usually requires multiple layers of protection. You need good credential verification to ensure only legitimate media are in press areas. You need physical barriers to maintain appropriate distances. You need sufficient security personnel who are trained to identify and respond to threats. You need protocols for rapid evacuation if situations become dangerous. You need the celebrities themselves to be briefed on security procedures and empowered to speak up if they feel unsafe. All of these elements working together create a security posture that's much harder to breach. Looking ahead, this incident will likely influence how BTS's upcoming comeback and tour are managed. You can expect to see heightened security at all public appearances. There will probably be more restrictions on media access, stricter verification of credentials, and larger security teams. Some fans might be disappointed if this means fewer opportunities to see the members at airports or other public locations, but safety has to come first. A disappointed fan is better than a tragedy that could have been prevented. The international media attention this story is receiving also puts pressure on everyone involved to take it seriously. This isn't just Korean entertainment news anymore. Major outlets around the world are covering this story because it speaks to larger issues of celebrity safety, stalker culture, and the responsibilities of entertainment companies. The world is watching to see how HYB responds, how Korean authorities handle the investigation, and whether meaningful changes result from this incident. For Jimin personally, the outpouring of support from fans has been overwhelming. The hashtags trending worldwide aren't just demanding better security, they're also expressing love and concern for him directly. Messages in dozens of languages, all saying essentially the same thing. We want you safe, we care about you, your well-being matters more than anything else. In a scary situation, that kind of global support can provide some comfort, a reminder that while there might be a few dangerous individuals out there, there are millions of people who genuinely care about his safety and happiness. This incident is a wake-up call. It's a reminder that fame comes with real risks, that the people we admire and support are vulnerable in ways we might not always think about, and that everyone involved in the entertainment industry, from companies to fans to media to security professionals, has a role to play in keeping celebrities safe. The question now is whether this wake-up call will lead to meaningful change, or whether it will be forgotten until the next incident, the next close call, or worse, an actual tragedy that could have been prevented. We owe it to Jimin, to all of BTS, and to every public figure who faces these risks to make sure it's the former. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.